This is Paul. If I seem a little down, it's because my Mets, we played the playoff game yesterday, the wild card playoff game to see who got the rights to play the Cubs, and we lost. It was a tight game. It was a good game for the first 9 innings until the top of the ninth, where our closer, Jerry Familia, basically gave it up. Like I said, the Mets, my team, like I said, I made a bunch of videos last year. You saw it during the Mets playoff run and when they went to the World Series, and of course, unfortunately, they lost to the Royals. So this year, I was full of hope and hoping they can get back to the World Series. But we had a lot of devastating injuries on the team. David Wright went down. Matt Harvey went down. Steven Matz, Jacob deGrom, Lucas Duda with the bad back. And basically, Sandy Alston had to piece this team back together with a bunch of rookies he brought up and people he acquired. Got Jose came back to the fold, and he played great. Budas Carrera, our shortstop, he played exceptionally well this year, and he got injured, but he came back and finished the year strong. And we made a nice, strong push to get to qualify, for be in the playoff, that wild card game that we played yesterday. But unfortunately, we faced Bumgarner, and he's as good as advertised. He was just devastating, and he didn't give up much. And we had our chances, but unfortunately, we ran into a pitcher who's like almost legendary in the postseason, Bumgarner. But Thor Syndergaard pitched great for 7 innings. He is really, truly the ace of this team. I know I think he's technically the youngest one of our star pitchers and stuff, but he really matured, especially last year and then into this year. He's really matured, and I'm so proud of Syndergaard. He really matured and just pitched. He gave us 7 great innings, and he is really our ace right now. Until otherwise, he's our ace. I know originally it was Matt Harvey, but Matt Harvey's been injured and up and down, and I know people thought maybe Jacob deGrom was it. And he was great last year. Struggled a little bit this year, and then got injured and stuff. But Thor, to me, Syndergaard has been our ace this year. Outside of Bartolo Colon, he's been the only one that's really been. And he was good in the beginning. He was kind of inconsistent a little bit. Then he came on strong towards the later half of the year, and he's just been great. And we couldn't ask for more what he gave us yesterday. That was just absolutely beautiful. And hats off to you, Thor, for the game you pitched. And hold on for 1 minute. Hold on. And I did go to Citi Field this year, and I got my Noah Syndergaard garden gnome. And I'm going to cherish this much. You're the man, Thor. Until otherwise, you're the man. Okay, he just pitches with such heart and humility, and I'm glad he's on our team. Just and to think when they made that trade, they got him and the catcher, and he's been really the ace of that deal. Oh my God, Sandy Alston, what a steal was that! That deal was a steal. Okay, but anyway, seriously, I know a lot of people are calling Juris Familia Benitez Jr., which I admit I had to laugh. I laughed at that when I first heard it, Benitez Jr., but he's our closer, and I know last year in the World Series he blew the. I don't really blame him. He had 3 blown saves in the World Series, and I don't really blame him for the first. I blame him for the first one more than the second 2. The second 2 were like errors that really contributed to that. But the first one I do blame him for, because he tried to quick pitch Alex Gordon, and Alex Gordon hit it out and tied the game, and then we lost in extra innings. But I don't blame him for the other 2 because there was errors behind him and stuff. And Lucas Duda and Daniel Murphy just, it just wasn't. We made too many errors to lose, and we had so many chances to win that World Series. So I can't really blame that on Familia. But this year, like I said, he's walking a fine rope. I know he led our team he set a record. I think he led the major leagues in saves this year. I think he had 51. But he has got to stop doing this tightrope thing. He's going to get into Benitez territory if he keeps this up. Benitez was a good regular season closer as well, but as soon as he got into a little bit of pressure situations, Benitez crumbled like a just crumbled. Okay, and Familia, who have to give him credit for that. He said he stayed up in his locker and he answered every question. He didn't shy away. He didn't run away. He didn't not want to be interviewed. He didn't shower and run. He stood there and took all the questions. But he has to, and maybe Dan Walton can work on this during the off season or in spring training. He has to stop putting men on base. Okay, he walks. It seems like he's doing it way too much. Getting people on base and then having to barely survive getting out of it. Okay, and it cost him yesterday. He gave up that leadoff double, and he gave up that walk, which really was a killer. And then he was struggling, and then he tried to groove a sinker, and then it just didn't sink. And then some no-name San Francisco Giant hit a 3-1 bomb, and then I had to turn the TV away because I knew right then and there, at the top of the night when he did that, that was just not with the way Bumgarner was pitching, but it was over with that 3-1 home run. We weren't coming back. We weren't scoring 4 runs in the bottom. Not with the way Bumgarner was pitching. We weren't scoring 4 runs and winning that game. So I knew it was over. So I turned the channel because I knew right then and there it was over. Okay, and like I said, my Mets, even with all the injuries, they finally, so I am proud of them that they made that surge. And I have to give Terry Collins credit, who I'm not really a big fan of, but I have to give him credit because he held the team together with all the injuries and stuff, and they played for him. The pieces that Sandy Olson come together from the minor leagues, people he brought in, excluding Jay Bruce, really helped contribute to the second half surge of the Mets and made them qualify for the wild card round playoff game. And hopefully, like I said, next year everybody will come back healthy. And I know this is what I want. This is what my wish, I guess, for the 2017 season. I know David Wright wants to come back and stuff, but I love David Wright, and I really do, but I really wish he retired because David Wright's never going to be the same. And if you're going to start the season again, and then I can see him just getting injured again and then being done again. I just rather you retire. Let's remember you the way you were, okay, and just let the Mets move on. Okay, I know he's a proud guy and he's not going to do it. He's going to try to come back again, and he's already said he's going to try to come back. But I really wish maybe at some point he just realized that, you know what, I had my run. My back is just, I have this condition that's never going to go away, and I'm never going to be the same player. But like I said, I can't. Who am I to tell him? He's baseball's been his whole life, so. Okay, and I'm sure he feels like he wants to earn the money that he's making, but there comes a point where you're going to have to say, listen, he's never going to be the same. And it's almost like a Don Mattingly situation where after his back screwed up, he was never the same. And it looks like David Wright can't stay on the field too long, so maybe at some point he'll realize that and he'll move on. But I'll take it as it comes. And hopefully Reyes, I think they have an option on him. Definitely bring him back, because he was a spark plug in the second half, and you can always keep him as a backup. Let him maybe even share duties with David Wright at third. If David Wright can't go all the time, let him share duties with that, and he can also play shortstop in a pinch and second base. And he's just an exciting player. Reyes I'm glad he came back after all his troubles and stuff, and he really was. He wasn't a distraction, and he was a really good contributor to this team. Okay, and as far as Cespedes is concerned, I know he might opt out, so I would hope the Mets would just let's extend him. Okay, I know he has the option to opt out, but if I was the Mets, I would sit down with him and go, listen, you got 2 years left. We're going to add 4 more years to it. Okay, we'll add 4 more years and give you the money, so that way and I think he might take that because he likes playing in New York, and I think hopefully he'll take that and go around with it. I like Cabrera coming back for 1 more year at shortstop, and I hope they sign Neil Walker, who, unfortunately, I wish we had him because Neil Walker had a great year until his back started acting up and he had surgery. But they already traded to get Jay Bruce, the second baseman. I forgot the guy's name, but they traded to Cincinnati to get Jay Bruce. Re-sign Neil Walker. Give Neil Walker a contract. Neil Walker is a great switch hitter, and he can hit for power, and he wasn't fazed by New York. And I only wish that he was healthy enough when we were playing the Giants, because I think he could have got a couple of hits. He's that good, and I like Neil Walker. So I hope they re-sign him. And as far as who else, bring back Bartolo if you can. I love Bartolo. Bartolo's good he never gets hurt. Okay, he's always good for 200 innings. Okay, and you never know what you might need because you never know what the status of these young guys are. So I'd bring Bartello back again. He's just been that good, Bartello Colon. I love that guy. He's he just thrives and he's ageless to me. Okay, and I love his at bats, which are always funny and comical. Okay, as far as Jay Bruce is concerned, I say trade him. I just really at this point, I don't think Jay Bruce may be a nice guy, one of those guys that hits 250 and hits like 35 home runs maybe and 90-something RBIs, but I don't think he's built for New York. I think the pressure got to him when he was traded to the Mets, and I think the pressure, and that's why he was struggling a lot. I think he let the pressure get to him, and I don't think he's built. He's played in Cincinnati all of his career. I don't think he's built for New York, so I think he's going to continue to struggle. Okay, so I say if you can trade him, then maybe package Duda, get rid of Duda too. I'm done with Lucas Duda, him and his bad back. Okay, this and that bad throw. I still blame him for that Game 5 World Series, him throwing the ball away. But I say trade. You got him under your control. Trade him to an American League team. We'll probably take him and stick him as a DH somewhere, and see if you get somebody for the bullpen, or yeah, get a bullpen, or maybe even a catcher, because I'm sick of Darnell. Okay, he's always hurt, and he really I really was disappointed with him with it, like I said, his inability to stay healthy, and the way he struggled this year. I'm done with Darnell. Okay, and so like I said, that trade, Syndergaard was the best part of that trade, even though at the time everybody thought Darnell was the winning piece. But I think I'm ready to turn the page on him. He can't throw runners out either, and he can't stay healthy a full year. I say if you can trade package him and Bruce to an American League team, get a catcher, a good young catcher who has pop in his back, do that if you can. Or if you get another reliever, fine. And also, like I said about Familia, I'm not ready to write him off. I'm not really ready to call him Benitez Jr., even though I thought that line was funny, but I'm not ready to write him off yet. But he has to buckle down and stop putting guys on base. You know, like I said, he can work with Dan Walton on the off season and work on because you got to stop putting guys on base. Relievers you cannot win by putting guys on base. That leads to disaster. It always does for relievers. When you put guys on base, bad things happen. Okay, it's just inevitable. It's a snowball effect, and you felt that last night watching that in that leadoff double, then the walk, and then the 3-run bomb. Okay, and just like that, he silenced the whole stadium full of screaming fans. Okay, and he has to overcome that, or he is going to get that reputation as being a Benitez Jr. People are going to start calling him that for real. Okay, and that's why I say, like, and they say relievers got to have short memories, and relievers sometimes they don't last. You know, you get a reliever that's good one year, then he's toast the next year. So if Familia wants to be consistent, I know Terry Collins is always going to have his back and say, "Oh, he's our guy" and all this stuff. But I'm sorry, if he continues this down this path, you're going to have to look at another person to be a reliever, or maybe flip Reed, put Reed as a closer who's did it before in the past, and put Familia on 8 if he can't get his stuff together. Because you cannot win with putting guys on base. That's a recipe for disaster. Okay, so you know, for me, I'm still sticking with you, even though you broke my heart last night. I'm still gonna stick with you, but you got to buckle down, and you got to have to prove yourself. Hopefully, like I said, the Mets will get to the playoffs again next year with a full healthy pitching staff and a healthy team, and you'll get another chance to prove. You know, it's just 2 chances. You get one more chance with me, Jerry's from there. You're still my guy. And hopefully you'll come through in the postseason next year, okay? And then I won't think about getting rid of you because you're young and you're strong, and I love your sinker when it works, okay? But when you start putting guys on base and that sinker is not sinking, okay, it's a recipe for disaster. But anyway, overall, like I said, my Mets, even though I was hoping I was hoping they could play the Cubs because I thought they could beat the Cubs, even though the Cubs had a lights out year, okay? It is what it is, So I'm done with baseball. I'm not going to watch the playoffs or the World Series. Okay, my Mets are not in it, so I have no interest. I'll just concentrate on my New York Giants football team, and that's it. And just wait. So anyway, that's it. I'm sorry for this long rambling video, but I wanted to vent actually about my Mets and stuff because me and the guy I work with were big Mets fans, and we were like just devastated. So I wanted to just vent a little bit for my Met fans, and I'm still a Met fan, still diehard Met fan through and through. So I just, just wanted to vent and let it out. So hopefully next year will be our year. We'll get the full pitching staff back healthy. Hopefully Zach Wheeler will be healthy enough, and everybody else will be Matt Harvey, Jacob DeGrom, Steven Matson. We'll be back here, and we'll have a full staff, and hopefully you change around the roster. Trade Jay Bruce, get rid of Duda. I know the Mets have a young first baseman coming up in the minor leagues, which I can't remember his name. Who's supposed to be it's Chris Smith, I think that's his name. Who's a lefty with pop. Hopefully he can make the team in spring training or something. I keep Loney as the backup. Maybe he. So in case Smith has to, be brought up. The rookie guy come up, because I think he played AA last year. I don't know if he played AAA. So like I said, you can bring him along slowly, and you keep James Loney. I'd rather James Loney, because at least defensively, and every once in a while he can pop a home run, and I get rid of Duda. I'm sick of him and his bad back and his streakiness. Okay, so just c'est la vie. Okay, and like I said, trade him. Get rid of Bruce too. I'm sorry, trade Bruce and hopefully maybe you can get a catcher. Get rid of Darnell too. I'd get rid of Darnell too if I can get a young prospect, a catcher that can hit with pop. Okay, if some team in America has one of those guys in their organization, I trade them for him. So and then you can stick him with him. You got Rene Rivera can be the backup, the defensive guy, and you got a young, strong catcher. That's what I want. Okay, I'm done with Darnell. Okay, he's too injury prone, and he struggles way too much. Okay, so I'm sorry, but that's it. We got the best part of that deal, Toronto deal. Thor, I'm satisfied with that. Darnell, c'est la vie. Okay, anyway, let's go Mets. Let's go Mets, and let's go Mets. Okay, until next year. Take care.